Well, Texans hit by spring tornadoes could be waiting longer for relief. FEMA has not declared the spring storms a disaster just yet, and local relief efforts are lacking funds. Jamil Donath shows us who is being hit the hardest.
It still frightens me when I look at it.
More than 60 years of memories.
Well, this is it.
Gone in minutes.
It was really terrifying.
Leonard Wilson was inside when the tornado hit his house.
And I could feel it trying to suck me out.
He survived with just a few scratches, but his home is a total loss.
It was just devastating. I couldn't believe it.
The Elgin man says what saved him, a door that fell on top of him, shielding him from flying debris.
I still have a little problem at sleeping at night because I'm thinking about like flashbacks.
And his nightmare doesn't end there. Wilson had insurance, but on March 13th, the company ended his coverage. The tornado hit on March 21st.
I just didn't have the money to get another insurance in between that time because I'm on a fixed income.
That's where nonprofits like the Austin Disaster Relief Network are stepping in.
And just have him give me a call back whenever he has a chance, okay?
Andrew Fortner is working with about 25 to 30 tornado survivors.
Our main goal is to try to get them paired up with someone that can, walk alongside of them.
The nonprofit of more than 200 churches and thousands of volunteers received more than 500 applications for support. They're currently helping around 200 uninsured families.
This is where it all happens.
ADRN Executive Director Daniel Garrissey says the Central Texas Tornado fundraising campaign has been slow to receive donations. So far, they've only raised around $250,000 of its $2.5 million goal.
We cannot just turn our head and hope the best for them. It's a real crisis for these families.
And Garrissey says there'll be an even greater need in the likelihood Texas doesn't receive FEMA funding.
It doesn't look strong that FEMA's going to come in and support this disaster because the numbers aren't there. And in that case, it's really up to us.
For the past 3 weeks, Wilson's been living in a hotel, thanks to ADRN. The nonprofit is also helping him move into an apartment.
I don't know what I would have did without them. Let me see.
He still comes by the house a few times a day to check on his dog.
Daddy, big boy, be good.
He hopes to rebuild his childhood home one day, with or without insurance.
All right, our Jamil Donath is joining us now to talk more about tornado damage across the state. Jamil, good morning to you. So the thing about this is we're still waiting on FEMA to declare this a disaster area, right? Why is that?
So an interesting story we found out from this is that, not every disaster is declared. It depends on spending thresholds and insurance claims. So according to the Texas Division of Emergency Management, Texas is required to have around or at least 800 underinsured or uninsured Texans. And that might seem like not a lot, but they have to meet a specific severe damage threshold as far as money goes. And they've told me that year after year, FEMA increases those thresholds. And because Texas is such a big state, they often, the qualifications to meet those federal thresholds is a lot higher, and it's getting harder and harder every year. The other thing too is I think we could say, with the winter storm, with hurricanes, it hits more people, whereas the tornadoes, even though we had a lot of them, they hit in specific areas versus the winter storm last year affected pretty much everyone. So there's that as well. But the Austin Disaster Relief Network director also told me that there's just a lack of awareness about the fact that people need help because there wasn't, I guess, a lot of social media presence. No one died, so a lot of people have sort of forgotten about it. But there's still a lot of homeowners and renters who very much need help. I mean, some of the damage is pretty significant in rural communities.
Yeah, as we've talked about, the damage can be extensive depending on the certain areas that the more powerful tornadoes hit. What are some of the biggest issues that homeowners and renters are facing right now as they go through those insurance claims?
Right, so as we were saying, a lot of people who are underinsured or not insured at all are facing clearly the most issues because they don't get to have any money for their damages. The issue that we've been hearing from different nonprofits is that some people are forgetting to actually go and update their insurance claims or assets. So a lot of homes have gone up in price, right?
Right.
Especially with the housing crisis and the boom in housing prices. So people are forgetting to go and change that, and therefore they're not getting as much money as they could be getting, which I was told could also be affecting that threshold for getting federal assistance. You know, because if people are claiming less than what they should be, then we're not qualifying for the federal disaster. And a lot of people are saying, you know, nonprofit people are saying it's pretty likely that this disaster might not be declared, and that means a lot of Texans are missing out on federal funding. And then of course you have local relief funds that are sort of struggling as well. So those are some of the biggest issues, and something that a lot of that the director of ADRN really wanted to stress, that people need to go and update their insurance claims, and that's the most important thing you can do right now.
Yeah, definitely a complicated situation, but one that we appreciate you tracking for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jamil.